What's up, guys? Keyshawn and Chia here, back at you with another alternate universe. What if? And this is going to be a new one, and the last one. And this is going to be what if Deku, well, you could say, had not Kindle one. He's going to be what if Deku was the Kindle one from Dark Souls one, because there's the Ashen one and then the Kindle one, and also you could say the Dark one, the the, the Dark Cinder one. And yeah, it's confusing, but pretty much, I'm gonna make him the Kindle one from Dark Souls one because there's multiple Dark Souls, and I kind of don't want to do like Deku was what if Deku was the Ashen one from Dark Souls 3, because Dark Souls 3 is, I love that game, but honestly the spells is just not on point. It's not God tier, but it's still good. But we're gonna make Deku be a Kindle one from Dark Souls 1. And Dark Souls 1 is pretty lit if you like broken stuff, so let me stop randomly on. Let's just see how the story goes. How would this happen? Well, we're going to pretty much switch with Kill. And Kill, like I said, is Keyshawn's brother, but he's the one who handled the Dark Ultimate universes, who watch over them and creates, just like Keyshawn. This is where Kill is smiling and saying, my brother created two universes together, so I kind of do want to do the same thing, but make it crazy and dark as possible. Now, this is where Deku, not Deku, Kill combines two alternate universes together and twist it up, making it into the most craziest dark alternate universe possible. Now, I should give a quick spoiler warning before shit gets real. Hold on, let me be serious. Caution: this will contain blood, gore, guts, possibly rape, butt stuff, and unholy things. So if you're a Christian, a boy who goes to church, a good little student, a good little noodle who watch SpongeBob SquarePants and never understand the dirty jokes on that show, then get the fuck out the kitchen, because this is about to get spicy up in here. But let's continue. Now, pretty much, we're gonna start with Deku. Well, yeah, pretty much, we're gonna start with Deku. Now, Deku is, well, a little bit as older. Well, is pretty much young, but this is not the start of that man. He's getting bullied by Bakugo. Now, I kind of wanted to do, I'm gonna give, this is not my idea. This is not my idea. Two YouTubers already did this, but I kind of want to do this bounding together with Toga and Deku. This is going to kind of be some bonding together with Toga and Deku. I kind of want to ship them off together because this is going to be really good in this order with them together. And trust me, this is not my idea. Hentai Overlord already did this. He's doing one, and someone else already did this. But I want to do this and see how it work in my scenario and how this work. But pretty much, Deku, you could say, feels like he's bounded by someone, like by fate, like meant to be with someone, but he doesn't know who. Now, Toga is pretty much feels that same way. It feels like she's missing something. Like there's a piece of something is missing in her life. Now, Deku and Toga see each other sometimes, and they go to the same school, but they never, you could say, talk to each other and stuff. But they always curious about each other. And at that time, but this is where Deku is, you could say, on the rooftop and getting bullied by Bakugo. No, Toga doesn't know what's going on there. She been asked to, you could say, some girls, we're gonna say the head of the class president girl asked Toga to tell the boys to get off the rooftop and to come inside, because we're gonna say the rooftop is broken and pretty damaged and all that. Now, Focus says alright and begins to head. Now, this is where Bakugo is beating up Deku and pretty much doing, giving him those 1-2s, and Deku can't do anything about it because Deku has no quirk. Now, as Deku is, coughing up blood and stuff, and Toka is saying, "What the hell y'all doing? You're not supposed to be on this rooftop," and she sees Deku. Now, this is where Deku sees her, and Bakugo was hearing Toka saying, "Oh yeah," it pretty much kicks Deku in the face, and like I said, since the rooftop was getting fixed and stuff, we're gonna say the gate fence breaks, and Deku begins to fall off. Now Toka realized that Deku was falling in, trying to catch him, and Bakugo didn't realize it too, and Deku falls off and pretty much hits the ground, dies. Well, you could say die. Now instead of Deku going to hell or heaven or all that stuff, his soul gets transformed. You could say get taken. His whole body and soul gets taken. And gets taken somewhere else. And it's in Dark Souls 1 universe. Now, as Deku wakes up, he wakes up in a prison cell. And he looks at his hands, and he realizes his hands looking like a burnt piece of bacon and stuff. And he's looking around, and he can see in the water that he looks different. He begins to not freak out, but curious. Now, Deku is trying to remember what happened, and he remembered Bakugo kicking him in the face and sending him flying off the building, pretty much to his death. Now Deku was getting pissed off and saying, "Bakugo, he killed me. He took away my life," and getting, angry and stuff. Now, this is where we're gonna say a knight, and we all know who this knight is. Pretty much is injured. Pretty much gives him the key, saying, "Here's a key. Here goes the key and escape." And stuff. Now Deku pretty much opens up the key and stuff and begins to look around and stuff. Now he finds a broken sword and sees some hollows, and we're gonna say he just walked past him because he's not gonna kill him. He doesn't. He's pretty much just walking past him. Now as he's walking past him, he sees one shooting at him, and he sees a shield and grabs it and pretty much walking. Now he's running at the hollow thing and slash it. Pretty much get souls from it. He realized that he just got souls and sees it by his bar and realized that he has a whole stat menu and stuff. He's saying, "Oh, I have a whole stat menu. It's kind of like a RPG." Because Deku is smart and not dumb, and he understands this stuff. Now, Deku is pretty much looking and saying, "Okay, so how do I level up and stuff?" And trying to figure all that stuff. Now, as Deku is going, he's pretty much is looking, looking around, and he hears a crash in the prison. Now, this is where Deku goes after he ran away from this small demon and sees the broken thing. Now, the guy is pretty much laying down, and he's pretty much saying, "You are the Kindle One, and your destiny is to save this world." Or that's what he thinks. And it pretty much gives Deku the Exodus Flash that heals any wounds guaranteed, which I gotta say, it just works. Pretty much gives Deku that. Now, Deku is pretty much grabbing, well, grabbing the Flash and begins to go. Now, this is where he's on top thing and sees the small demon pretty much standing there. Now he leaps down and stabs the prison silent demon and begins to have his broken sword slash all the way down to his guts. Which the demon, small demon, or you could say guts, comes out and it dies. It pretty much starts to fade away and dies. Well, no, it pretty much dies and Deku gets his souls. Now, Deku is heading out and this is where he gets picked up by the bird. It begins to get flied away. Now we're going to switch around, and pretty much this is where Deku, you could say, hollow body, or you could say hollow body is pretty much, well, other body is pretty much dead, and at the farewell site, which Inka was crying in. She pretty much bitch slaps Bakugo, saying, "This is all your fault. He was your best friend, and Deku actually looked at you as a looked it up as you as a friend, and this is what you do to him, kill him." Which Bakugo, he's pretty much realizing what he just did, and pretty much gets up and walk away. Which Toga is at the funeral, pretty much looking at Deku's body, and she, you could say, share a tear, and begins to walk away. But she feels something deep inside, like he's not dead. She doesn't know how, but she feels like he's not dead. Now we switch back to Deku in the Dark Souls 1 universe, and pretty much looking around. Now, this is where Deku uh, is pretty much looking around and stuff, and sees stuff is different. Now, Deku looks around and pretty much sees a guy, and he's talking to the guy and stuff, and also realizes that he can reverse this hollow and not go mad and stuff if he gets the hollow thing. Now, he finds one and activates it, and goes to the you could say go to the bonfire. He realizes he can level up at the bonfire and do a lot of stuff there. Which he says, "I have an inventory system." Okay, I see. Let me see. Now he sees the stuff that he can level up his intelligence, his strength, his all that. He's saying, "Huh, okay." Now this is where they could put some stats and intelligence stuff, and also some strength, so he can wear some armor. Now this is where he goes down. He sees the firekeeper. Now the firekeeper is pretty much chained. Well, you could say in the cell, pretty much can't do anything. And Deku looks at her, asks if she's alright. Now she pretty much is pretty much looking down, and Deku reach out for her hand. Reach out for her hand and say, "I'm gonna get you out of here." And pretty much which Deku sponsor says, if all my if all my can if all my can be a number one hero and save someone, then I can save you. And the firekeeper reach out her hand and touches Deku's head. Now, this is where Deku is, you could say, getting stronger and stuff. And he pretty much, you could say, going around the Dark Souls thing and fighting demons and stuff. And also collecting souls and all that. Now, this is where he meets Sunlight Gale. And we all know Sunlight Gale prays the Sunlight guy. Deku pretty much creates you could say, a nice bond with Sunlight Gale. A good friendly bond and all that. Now, Sunlight Gale is pretty much teaching him how to do the sunlight thing, and he can help out other people and stuff in their world, and pretty much be a hero and stuff. Now, Deku does that, and you can learn all the techniques, and also learn the sunlight thing. Now, this is where Deku is going on other world, and he learns the moonlight spell from Gwendolyn? Gwendolyn? Yeah, Gwendolyn. And I know what you're saying. Gwendolyn is a boy, but we're going to make him a female in this. Now, Deku pretty much is taking off his helmet, and Deku hair is long. It's pretty much in a ponytail, which Deku walks to Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn asks to see Deku. Now, Gwendolyn doesn't have snake for legs, but pretty much have feet. She pretty much walks up to Deku, kisses Deku, which Deku is back up and pretty much blushing and saying, why did you?" And Gwendolyn is saying, "Well, you're the first ever knight who actually served this castle and defended with your life. And you're the only one who kept me and my sister safe." Which we're gonna say his sister is actually still there, not gone. And Deku says, "Oh, it's anything. That's what a hero does, right?" Now the firekeeper, you could say the other firekeeper, comes in, talks to Deku, saying, "Are you going to be the one to light the final fire?" Which Deku says yes. Now, this is where Deku gets the rest of the souls and stuff, and gets his weapons. and his armor. And his armor is that armor right there in the middle. And he pretty much, and he be given the ring of favor by by the other guy, because we're gonna say Deku gave him a soul, but not of a firekeeper soul, but a different firekeeper soul. We're gonna say a dead firekeeper soul, and he took that and pretty much on Deku's side. Now Deku's heading to the final place, and he's pretty much about to fight the final boss. Now he pretty much kills the boss, finishing off, and gets his sword in his pretty much his crown and the rest of the XP souls. Now Deku touched the thing. No, instead of like making Deku burst into another another field thing, Deku gets teleported, and he gets teleported into the thing, into the, you could say, his universe. Now the fire is already like boosted up, so nothing. The Dark Souls thing will continue, but Deku is just not there anymore. Now his stats, otherwise, well, I'll just tell you in the story. Now Deku pretty much wakes up, and he looks around, seeing that he's back home. Now Deku is pretty much saying, "I'm back," and he pretty much, you know, like holds his hand tight, well, tights his hand in a fist, saying, "I'm gonna get you, Bakugo." But before, I gotta look around, and he pretty much starts to look around. Now this is, you could say, start of the enemy, part of start of the enemy, and the 10 months is now, since Deku's not in the class and only talking and stuff. Now Deku starts looking around the thing, and this is where he is looking, and seeing if anything's different. And he's wearing the armor too. And he has a helmet, which people is looking at him, but they're not. Like, they're too afraid to. They just think he's a pro hero or something. Now, Deku is pretty much looking at the newspaper and stuff, and pretty much walking. Now, this is where Deku hears a guy is screaming at something. Now, this is where he sees Toga, and she's pretty much crying and asking for someone to help her. Now, the guy is pretty much is, you could say, do something else, thinking about some raping part. This is where Deku comes in and stabs. Well, you could say stab the guy in the back, which blood gets on Toga, and this is where Deku pulls out the blade and slams the guy on the ground. I pretty much steps on his throat, saying, "Now die." Now Deku takes off his helmet and looks at Toga, saying, "It's you," which Toga looks and saying, "It can't be. You're dead." Which Deku walks close to her, and they look. You could say they look at each other and they look. Now Deku is a little bit taller in this because, like I said, due to the leveling system and the hollow thing, Deku can't really die anymore. But he could say he can't die anymore since he's the Kindle one, and also Deku leveled up his stats all to 99, so he's pretty much broken as fuck. But let's continue. Deku pretty much looks at Toga and pretty much says, and Toga's asking, "How's he alive? He was dead. I was at your funeral," which Deku is saying that he ended up at some other place and stuff, and Deku has a scar on his eye, which Toga asks, "How did you get that scar?" Which Deku says, "I've been into a whole battles a lot. Let's just say I kept getting up every time." No, Toga leads in and pretty much kisses Deku, which Deku pretty much kisses her back. Now, Deku is asking, is her parent, does her parents know that are you going to call your parents and see if that say you're alright, that you pretty much almost got raped or harassed? Which she's saying, um, I don't have parents who I don't have parents anymore. They pretty much disowned me after hearing my quirk. Deku's pissed off and saying, and come come stay at my house. You can come stay with me and my mom if my mom is still here. Now Toga agrees and begins to walk walk at you could say walk at Deku. Walk to Deku house. Well no, I take that back. Toga pretty much has a house of her own, so she pretty much asks Deku to stay at her house, which Deku says yeah. Deku is pretty much heading to Toga's house, and they're at this, you could say, house, and he's taking off his armor. They put it in the inventories because he knows how to put his armor in the inventory instead of just taking off and leaving it. Deku puts on, pretty much puts on some undies, begins to lay on the couch. Deku is pretty much thinking to himself that he's pretty much back here and he can't believe it, but he's going to get back at Bakugo. Now this is where Toga sits on the couch where Deku sits beside, right beside Deku, pretty much, because saying that she pretty much knew that he wasn't dead, that he was still alive somewhere, which Deku says that he felt the same way, and you could say they have their night together. Now, this is part 1 of What If Deku Was Kindle 1 from Dark Souls 1. If you do leave a like down below, subscribe, and also, hit that notice bell, when I'm about to hit another video. But I'm Keishawn Chia, thanks for watching, and peace out.
It looks like you lost another one.